Hey everyone, welcome to episode 0 of the Vole&otter Gamecast, a podcast about video games with me, VoleMaulder, and my friend over here.
Speiss Autarr. Spelled incorrectly.
Because otters don't go to school, so they don't know how to spell things.
Yeah, it's a thing. Like when you come from, you're like born in the river, and then like they give you pebbles, and they're like, you learn to write with pebbles now. And like I could not. I was left-handed, and then they were like trying to teach me to be right-handed. It wouldn't work, and my pebble was too sharp, and it just kind of hit. It's a whole thing.
Yet you managed to go to space, regardless of all that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was just a lab test animal. They just like I was like in a space station. They just sent me there together with Lila the dog. But didn't go very well. I'm back though, and then when I came back, we kind of met together, right? We just like, oh, you're a vole, basically a rat kind of species, and you're here, and we're both at uni, and we're both kind of like pressing buttons and make things happen on a screen, otherwise known as video games. And we kind of like that. And then we kind of played a lot of them.
And then we spent hours and hours talking about them.
Yeah. Like maybe too many hours talking about them, arguing about them. Or not, sometimes.
Trying to find some meaning in what we played. I do miss my home food sometimes, I will say this. The vegetation over here is not as great as it was where I'm from.
Oh man, I know. Also, the little like wormies you get are not as good. But hey, what can you do?
So that is our origin story.
Yeah.
If you like more about this, the full prequel at some point will be in the cinemas.
Yeah, and also just clarification: we're not actually like little animals. We're people. We just have like little animal nicknames for some reason. Anyway.
There's a story behind them, but at some point we may share it.
Yeah, at some point, I guess.
Teasers.
So that is why we started, basically, right? We just wanted to discuss video games a little bit further. We are adults now with jobs, so it means that we're a bit... we don't have a lot of time for things anymore, and we wanted to find a way to actually sit down with each other and talk about something, create something, and continue our engagement with this medium, right?
Yes, that was pretty much it. It's in a way it's a glorified game. What's it called? Book club. It's a book club, so this is a game club.
Yeah, basically.
Or a game party.
I'm not very social. Don't like parties, so I think game club is good.
Yeah. So it's basically an excuse for us to sit down and do this in a more structured way and keep up with it, hopefully. So that's kind of what we're intending to do here. Just play video games and talk about them, analyze them, challenge each other on our perspectives with them, and maybe challenge each other in playing new stuff that we've not played before.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. My backlog is just packed with so many things that are supposed to be masterpieces, and I haven't played them. And I have anxiety about it. And I have to play some video games, man.
I know.
Yeah.
So, in a way, this is our gaming anxiety management exercise. We should add here, though, we'll try to stream as well some of that stuff, but we'll see how much of that is possible with our schedules. Is there anything that we can add to this, you think? Because it's not the most groundbreaking thing and the most innovating thing ever for two guys to sit down and make a podcast about video games, of all things.
Well, yeah, it's true that maybe on first glance we're not particularly original, but have you seen a podcast made by two people that grew up in small communities in Greece, that moved to the UK, studied two vastly different subjects, and that has informed how they feel and think about video games when they look at them?
That specific combination, no.
Exactly.
I will say, though, that beyond the jokes on this, there is a thing that has always been at the back of my mind, which is that a lot of the internet is so US-centric, and most of the discourse on video games especially tends to be from around those parts of the world. Not so much from where we're from. So it's something that may interest someone to hear what things were like when we grew up trying to play video games in a country that wasn't in everything, or a lot of things weren't around or were difficult to find. And I will add to that although we did meet at uni, we do have about a decade of time difference between us.
Yeah, fucking old.
I am the old one here, yes.
Geriatric men play video games.
I'm the boomer in this duo. So I am curious as well, personally, to hear and explore how it was different, like how things changed between my decade and your decade of getting into video games and how we got into that.
Yeah.
Which we'll cover over time. It's not going to be our main focus.
I have a feeling we're just gonna talk about what we want, and then eventually we're gonna find our structure. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, we don't want to overthink this because this is our second go at doing this. The first one is the unpublished one. It's the one that sits in the drawer that no one's gonna listen to. It was the throat clearing, which we should add that I guess we had another friend that we shared the flat with.
He's gone now.
During uni that we did this with.
Don't talk about Joe. It's been so hard without him.
He may join us occasionally. We wanted to do this initially, all three of us, but it was very difficult with life getting in the way. What is this? What is this? Life? Adult life?
What is this? Taxes?
Jobs?
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
How did you start playing video games?
That is a very good question. I think the first platform I played on was the Game Boy, the original one.
Oh my god. Old.
Yes.
Old people.
So I was in primary school. I can't remember the specifics of in terms of ages and times now because it's been a while. But I did not have a Game Boy. There were other schoolmates of mine that did. And we'd take turns playing Mario mostly on that thing. It took me a while before I actually had my own because my dad was really against this idea of playing video games because, as a lot of people of his generation thought that video games rot your brain, ruin your eyesight. So he was very resistant to the idea of getting me anything to play video games on. So I had to task my grandma to get me a Game Boy in secret.
A video Game Boy?
A video Game Boy, yes. So I started playing stuff on a Nintendo device. And that's significant because I don't usually like Nintendo games.
Baby games, right?
So,
am I right?
Yeah. Eventually, I got a Super Nintendo as well. I played a lot of Lamborghini Challenge, I think it was called.
What? What is that? What is Lamborghini?
It's an old racing game on the Super Nintendo.
I need to Google that. I need to find what Lamborghini Challenge is.
Might have been a Lamborghini American Challenge. I don't remember anymore. I thought I wouldn't look this up just to go from memory to see what I remember.
Okay, we need to find some way to find that game and play together.
Yeah. There are recent games that I have tried to do this old style racing game. One was actually on PS Plus, I think, so we can actually play it. Anyway, so there were a lot of kids in my neighborhood, and we would go at each other's place and we would play a lot of Mortal Kombat, a lot of Street Fighter at the time. There was a lot of Mario Kart happening. But the thing that I was more interested in doing was exploring stories. We'll talk a little bit about at some point about how we chose video games at the time because we didn't have access. I didn't have access to the internet, so I didn't really know what games existed, and I had to go by, the descriptions on the back of the boxes and all that, and covers and names, and imagine what this could be and stuff like that. So I eventually got a PlayStation, and then I started getting into more RPGs and adventure games. And it all went downhill from there.
Oh, man.
How did you start?
Well, I think we've discussed it between me and you before, but my gaming background was not as rich, as yours. When I was a kid, I just started straight up with a Game Boy Color. My first game was Pokemon Gold, it's still one of my favorite games. I guess for nostalgia reason in a way, but also I generally just still like it. Yeah, a lot of games like informed a lot back then. It was a very good way of me just to find like some comfort in those little silly worlds, and then eventually I don't know how I managed to make my mom buy me a PS2, but she got me a PS2, and there I played whatever was available. It was one of those times that you would play what was around you. So Ratchet and Clank 2 was one of the first things that I ever played, and I cannot even fathom how many times I finished that game. But then,
yeah, that was Resident Evil 2 for me.
Yeah.
I've played that game dozens of times because it was the only thing I had.
The only Resident Evil that ever fell on my hands back in the day was Resident Evil 3. And I played that, but I don't remember it as much. I was a little bit scared, let's say, when I was a kid.
Oh, I was scared as well because I was, I'm talking about like, I would have nightmares sometimes from the games I played, but then I kept playing them because they were so fascinating. Because I was a kid, but for some reason I really liked horror games.
Mm-hmm. Well, I did that with Obscure 2 and Silent Hill 4.
Yeah.
So, well, I also played Dog's Life like so many times.
I played that too.
I love Dog's Life. I really need to play Dog's Life again. But yeah, and then to be honest, like between the ages of 14 all the way to 19, actually, I was not really playing that many video games. Between that, like I actually got my hands on Stalker, so which is a weird game to play if you're not playing a lot, but I don't know why I loved them. I never managed to finish Clear Sky. That was a little bit sad for me, but I played the rest. And then uni happened, and then you freaking indoctrinated me into the world of video games, and now I'm a geek.
I corrupted your young and impressionable mind.
Yeah, now my brain is rotten. But yeah, so in a way, like I think it was around uni time that we kind of affected each other as well in how our gaming habits and how our just approach to video games went, because I think that at least that was informative to me, because I met you had a Xbox and you had a PS3, and we played countless hours of Mortal Kombat. Was it 9?
I think that was 9. Yeah.
Yeah, and I kicked your
and
ass.
we sucked at it as well. We're not good at. We played a lot of Mortal Kombat. We played too much Mortal Kombat for how much we suck at it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was fucking good, but yeah, just got Kitana kicked all of your butts.
It's funny because when we started playing that game, I was better than you, obviously, because I had played it and you hadn't. And you, I don't know if I remember this right, but you were kind of. It seemed like you were a little bit intimidated to play with me, but then we played a little bit, and you became a lot better than me very quickly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I'm a natural talent. What can I say? But yeah, and from then we actually did, like as you said before, we actually did started looking for the stories, and we started looking for games that we found interesting, and they were doing something different, they were doing something special. So, and at least to me, my favorite games came from that period of time. We're not talking about any more Pokemon Gold, because that is a favorite game just for nostalgia reasons. But like for example, like what are your favorite video games, like from like in general?
That is a question that keeps an answer that keeps changing.
Oh, it will change as well, I imagine, when we are in the podcast. So
yes, I will name some games off the top of my head that I think over the years have deeply affected me and occupied my thoughts a lot. I really loved Final Fantasy VIII. I've not played it any time recently, so I have no idea how this game holds up. But when I was a kid, I loved that game. I've loved Resident Evil 1, 2, 3 a lot. The first 4 Silent Hill games have been will always have a place in my heart. I do play a lot of RPGs. There I will be a little bit I suppose, mainstream, and I will say that Mass Effect is probably my favorite, even though that game has a lot of problems and I have a lot of criticisms for it. I also love it a bit.
We might jump into it at some point.
Yeah, Shadow of the Colossus, Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
I play a lot of racing games, and I've played a lot of racing games in my life. Something to know about me is that when I was a kid, I had this fantasy of becoming a race driver.
Boring. Lame.
Which is quite ironic, because I don't even have a driver's license. So I still play a lot of racing games. We won't be talking a lot about them because you don't. But more recently, I suppose I've been leaning towards more indie stuff. I like point-and-click adventure games a lot. I like RPGs. I like weird games that don't necessarily fall into a typical genre. The past 2-3 years, I think Disco Elysium has been a huge highlight in my gaming library.
Yeah, I was expecting to hear that. Disco Elysium is bloody brilliant. And it's something that I would mention as well.
The From Software games, although I'm lagging behind a lot. I've not played Elden Ring. I've played 2 hours of it just to check it out, but I'm still trying to finish Dark Souls 3.
Get good.
I do like difficult video games. When I have the time and the energy to focus on them, I do like them. I'm not elitist about difficulty in video games. So if someone doesn't like difficult games, that's fine. It's a thing that was formative for me when I was young, because I think the fact that I didn't, as I said, I didn't have a Game Boy myself, so we'd take turns with my classmates, and when one person died or ran out of lives, it would give it to the next person, and then it went like that. I was not practiced in those games, so I had to come to terms really quickly with the idea that failure is something to learn from rather than beat yourself up. I'm still trying to incorporate that in my life, but video games are inspiring for that for me. From Software games especially have that inspiring effect. I do like some obvious mainstream games, but I think part of what we want to do here is to shine a light on less obvious games. You're not going to hear us talk about the mainstream obvious stuff a lot, even though there are some things that I really love, including Mass Effect. I'll try to not talk about Mass Effect a lot.
I don't think you're going to manage to do that. You're going to mention Mass Effect a lot. But I think that we can talk about mainstream video games as long as we feel that there's something to say there that hasn't been said before.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll throw some feelers around, see how it is and what we want to do, and if something comes up, we're going to do it.
Yeah. So, what are your favorite games?
I will just jump on top of the From Software train that you just initiated, I don't know, and say that I am not a newbie of them. I've played a lot of From Software. I have gotten good, whatever the young kids say.
You have gotten good.
I've gotten good. Yeah, that's correct. Bloodborne specifically, I think, potentially has the spot of my favorite game, possibly ever. I'm not sure. I'm putting big question marks after, because these are things and these are opinions.
It is an awesome game.
The atmosphere, the Lovecraftian kind of horror that is not done as well anywhere else in video games. All of these accumulate into something that I genuinely love. And the gameplay loop is just great. But I think recently, Disco Elysium was something that I like. It had a fantastic story, very good characters, and generally, it is rare for me to find something so meaningful in a game, something that has such a lasting impact, and just teaches me how, failure is not necessarily bad. You can learn from your mistakes, you can improve, and how, in general, that game was just very informative of the last couple of years of my life, and I love them. I love it. Equally as well, I do love the Outer Wilds.
Yes. Thank you for mentioning that, because for some reason I keep forgetting about this game, and that game is probably the best game I've ever played.
It is fantastic, and I think I am long overdue a replay, unless I go back into Elden Ring now, because the DLC is coming Subnautica as well was something that I genuinely loved as a video game. Just the sense of exploration was unmatched with anything else that I played before. Needless to say that I studied marine biology, so this is something that really informed me on liking that game. So of course it felt like it was made for me in a way. Witcher 3 was a very brilliant adventure that I went into and a world that I loved. In smaller games as well, Wandersong was something that I loved as a silly little chill thing. Suggest to everyone, you haven't played Wandersong, have you?
I have not. No.
Yeah, that cannot describe how much I love that game. And it's really not complicated or anything like that. But in general, like what I aim for does not really go into specific genres, because I'm not really into... I'm not like, I'm only going to play first-person shooters, or I'm only going to play RPGs. It's just a matter of I throw
a good game is a good game.
Yes, unless it's a racing game, then I'm not into it. Or sports games, I don't play sports games.
Yes, which I guess brings us to what do we not play generally? Because a good game is a good game, but a good management game is not gonna interest me at all, even though it might be a masterpiece of its kind.
I don't know about management games. It's just that is too vague and too big. But yeah, let's say like a strategy game, like top-down strategy, for example, that's not something that I'm gonna seek out. I'm not gonna seek out sports games or racing games. I am not a huge fan of like sandboxes that are just endlessly menial in a way. So like that again is vague. So this is and it's kind of a personal taste. But for example, I don't find Assassin's Creed type games and Ubisoft type sandboxes particularly interesting, so I avoid them.
I don't know if I would even call them sandboxes. They're when you say sandbox, I'm thinking something like Minecraft, for example.
Yeah, also that's correct.
Yeah, which I
open
don't.
world.
It's not really my thing either.
Maybe in something that would be closer to Minecraft could interest me, but Minecraft does not interest me. I also don't play a lot online because I just like my individual time. When I play video games, I tend to be single player. So fairly limited in a way. I do. What I will say is that I do like something with a beginning, middle, and end. I like to be able to close a chapter. So let's say live service games. It's not something that I seek out, and I don't particularly like.
Yeah, me neither. Although in my mind, I have some forever games, as I call them, like mostly driving games that I could be playing for years, and it doesn't matter to me whether there's a beginning and an end. But that's very, very specific. And we should say that like we don't have anything against all these games. It's just they don't click with us. And
just personal taste.
If you love them, more power to you.
Just personal taste. I'm not attacking anyone. Maybe eventually I will, but not right now. But yeah, that's what I don't play.
So that should hopefully give you an idea of where we're coming from and what we like playing, so that you can calibrate a little bit what you hear from us in terms of opinions.
Yeah. You will be hearing opinions.
Because as with any opinionator on the internet, if you don't have any reference point about like what their tastes are and stuff like that, how do you know if you're gonna trust their takes on anything?
I wouldn't trust them. Fuck them.
Exactly. And that's exactly how people should think about us as well if they don't know us. Like it means nothing. It's uncalibrated. So we're here to make some calibrations for you.
Oh, wow. We're being transferred. Whoa.
We're here from the future.
We are organized now.
And we realized as I was editing this thing that we haven't really... so it's been a while since we recorded that episode 0 that you're listening to right now.
How long is the while?
More than a year.
Has it been more than a year?
Oh, yes, it has been more than a year. We recorded it, I think, last year in April.
We suck. Not now, though. We're from the future.
Right now in the future, we're in the next year in June.
2048.
Not that far ahead, thankfully. Or not thankfully, I don't know. If we survived until 2048, it's probably a good thing.
I hope my portal gun still works. I think we're stuck here now.
So we're here to tell you about some things that we've been doing since, and we'll keep doing going forward, so that you know what to expect from us. Also, you may notice Speiss Autarr has a better microphone.
No, I don't have a cold anymore.
Right, okay, so you managed to transform your voice.
I hit puberty meanwhile.
Main things we want to just cover before we sign out this one is how often you expect a podcast episode from us and what we're covering, what else we're doing outside of the podcast and where to find us. And that's kind of it. We're aiming to put this thing out every other week. The length will vary depending on what we're talking about. We want to aim for under an hour because who has that much time anyway to listen to podcasts? But sometimes we'll go over, depending on how heated our discussion is. Themes, as we said, depend on what we got going on, what we're playing. There's going to probably be a lot of backlog quests, but the frequency of that will also vary depending on how long the games we challenge each other to play are. We don't want to rush anything. We want to take our time and enjoy the games and give them a fair chance. And we'll occasionally have specials depending on what's going on. We're planning to record this week, actually, one on the... What are they called again? Summer Game Fest? Yeah.
Video game ads. Yes.
So occasionally we'll bring you reviews of video game advertisements.
Don't you love ads? I bet we don't have enough in our lives. So.
Yeah.
Here in the future, we don't have ads anymore. Well, if you don't like audio, we also have audio visual because we do streams together. We mostly try to cover co-op games, so we just play together, shout at each other, get frustrated, and eventually quit most of the games that we play. But if you want to catch us, you can find us with our personal nicknames, which is VoleMaulder and Speiss Autarr, spelled it correctly because I didn't go to school. On Twitch, we will try to stream weekly, not counting our individual streams, so catch us then. I think our schedule will become a little bit more permanent the following weeks, months, years. We work slow. But if you cannot catch us live, don't you fret, my friend, because
we also have a YouTube channel.
What?
I know. How pioneering is that? So yes, there will be a YouTube channel as well under Vole&otter Games. That will have our co-op streams, any highlights or clips from those. I don't know how much we're going to edit those. Perhaps not a lot. Breaks and other technical difficulties will be cut out, but we'll see. This will be an evolving thing, and we'll probably get better as we go. I also have a channel under my name, VoleMaulder, where I upload my solo streams because I've been doing a bunch of those a while now. They're mostly adventure games, mostly old. Sometimes I play newer stuff. Expect a lot of pointing and clicking at things and walking very, very slowly and reading out every text I find in the video games I play. So if you like that sort of thing, that's going to be there. Co-op streams are going to be under the Vole&otter Games, and perhaps Speiss Autarr's streams will be there or on his own channel. We've not really decided this at the moment. Future Vole here. Turns out Speiss Autarr will have his own YouTube channel for his solo streams. It has now been decided. Back to past future me. I don't know, are we on any social media other than the Twitches and the podcasts and the YouTubes?
Not yet, but you will know soon in our descriptions. I think I fixed our portal gun, so we can go back to the future.
Yes. But yeah, whatever we don't have here, there will be descriptions, and you can find the links there and follow us to places.
Before we leave and we go back to 2048, we want to thank all the people that have helped us do this. You know who you are. We love you. Mostly my cat, Beppis. That's all.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone who has made this possible, and we hope you enjoy this.
Let's go back to the portal. Traveling away.
Not clipped.
Was that too cringy? Should we like not? Should we cut this? I think this was too cringy. I think this sucked. I think I'm a little bit embarrassed of myself. Stress? No. I think I'm gonna go take a shower.